the Instagram stories for Monday, April 29th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. On Monday, we talk about what the head of Instagram shared on his Ask Me Anything. And we're going to talk about the reach problem first. But interestingly, Adam Mosseri claims that he can relate to the frustrations that you have regarding reach and growing your account. By way of context, Adam Mosseri has 2.3 million followers. So I'm not exactly sure that he can relate to, for instance, me with just a couple of thousand followers. First question, and this question does not relate to what he says, but I want to just explain the context of the question. The question is, what were you filming in LA? He posted on his story earlier this week that he was doing an interview session in LA. He explains how that correlates to engagement. Here's his answer.
My reach is really stagnated. I'm having more trouble continuing to grow my account, so I'm just trying to explore some new things. And one of the ideas I had was I could interview some creators about their experiences, both on Instagram, but also as creators more broadly. So I interviewed a few people, excited to cut that video up and share it with you all over the next couple of weeks. We'll see how it goes. It's completely new for me to actually interview others as opposed to be interviewed. Hopefully it works out. If it does, great. If it doesn't, we'll come up with another idea.
If that content is good, I will, of course, share it on the show. The next question has to do with engagement as well. Saw your post on engagement metrics. Just by way of context, that's one that I played on the show about a week and a half ago where he said, don't worry so much about follower counts, but look more at the engagement rates. The question continues, what's your number one tip for better engagement? Here's Adam's answer.
No silver bullets. I think the key thing is to experiment, and maybe if I want to add to that a little bit, to look for patterns. So I actually recently cut all my engagement to try to see how do my reels do relative to my carousels, relative to my photos. I marked up everything. So, I do Ask Me Anything answers, I do feature updates, I do just advice, and I try to see which of those does best. Turns out people are more interested in my advice and less interested in my personal content. I'll still post some personal content, but that's good to know. So experiment, try things, and then look for patterns and double down on what's working and move away from what's not, unless you have a reason to still do it.
The next question has to do with hashtags. The question, should I still use hashtags? I am leaning personally toward the no side of that equation, in the sense that if you expect to put a few hashtags on your post and magically get a lot more reach, I think that's very unlikely to happen. The question, should I still use hashtags? Here's Adam's answer.
If you're finding them useful, absolutely. We think hashtags are a great way to help connect with other people, but they aren't required. They don't meaningfully change your reach, which I know a lot of people think does happen, but that isn't really the case. But if you want to connect what you're sharing to a broader story or a broader topic, they're a great way to do so, and they're a great way to explore those topics.
Okay, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about notes on profiles and talk about some AI things. So stick around. And we're back. Okay, next question. Why don't creators have notes yet? I'm confused by this question because creators do have notes. It's possible this person lives in a part of the world that doesn't have access to notes yet, or maybe because notes are coming to the profile, maybe they don't have that yet and they only have notes in the DM box. I don't know. It's hard to assume what people are trying to get at with their questions sometimes.
Creators do have notes. I use notes all the time, but the way notes work is only people who you follow or close friends, if you said that, or mutual follows, can see it. The whole idea, at least for now, is that notes are focused on a way to share with people you know in real life or people you're really close to, which is a bit different than sharing in feed or sharing in stories with everybody who's interested in you. Because we want to make sure Instagram continues to be a place where you can connect with the people who matter to you most.
The next question has to do with Ray-Ban glasses. I personally am not very interested in the Ray-Ban glasses, but the footage I've seen where people say, hey, what am I looking at? And they hear a response in their ear, I do think is potentially interesting. Also, I'm just really kind of salty about buying the Snapchat spectacles in 2016 and then not really using them all that much. Here's Adam's answer to, do you shoot any of your content on Ray-Ban glasses?
I do. I'm starting to do more. Not wearing them today, but I've been trying to wear them more often. I was wearing them in LA and I shot some content. We'll try and use it more. I've actually found it as an amazing way to share what it looks like to be in a place that I am. So I'm going to try to figure out more opportunities where that might be interesting for all of you.
And the last question we're going to talk about today has to do with Meta AI. If you're not familiar, Meta AI, it's in Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. You can talk to it just like you do with ChatGPT, and you can get responses. The question, when will Meta AI release in India? I'm playing this answer because a significant number of you listening are in India, and I want to make sure that you're included in the show. The question, when will Meta AI release in India?
We're working on it. Give us a little bit more time, but we're going to get there soon.
Okay, that is going to do it for today's episode. And lastly, this has been a long time coming. Here is the entire new theme song for the show.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager, but do not have a bachelor's degree. But actually, that's factually a fraction of me. Another fraction's posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course, a book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency, but I got a lot of spam. Just putting in my work, without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish, unless it's shrimp or clam. No six pack, no risk that, there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.